Well, welcome everybody. It is January 20th. Donald Trump has been back in office for a year, and his major economic policy, the tariffs, has just been brutalized by a study that finds that 96 cents of every dollar in tariffs is paid for by you, by me, by the consumer, by the importer, not by the foreign country that is selling us the stuff. There are 3 years left of Donald Trump's presidency. By the way, I'm wearing my 120, can you see it? My 120 2029 shirt. These are available in our store. These are just flying off the shelves. 3 year. This shirt is particularly relevant today as we have 1 year down and 3 years to go. And we are waiting for January 20th of 2029. But between now and then, we are going to have to deal with the reality of Donald Trump's tariffs. And there's a new study reported about by the Wall Street Journal, not a left-wing rag, which finds that Americans are paying 96% of Donald Trump's tariffs. The foreign exporter is paying 4%. That is it. Now, we were told by people like Scott Bessent and Kevin Hassett and who the hell knows who else, that the way that this was going to be good for Americans and bad for the exporters in other countries is that the exporters were going to lower prices to account for the tariffs. So we would pay the same, but the exporter would accept a smaller profit. Well, we now have the data. It's not happening. The exporters from other countries are paying for 4% of the tariffs, and American importers and consumers like me and you are paying 96%. So when Trump says foreign countries are paying for the tariffs, it was never true. It is not true today. The underlying research comes from the Kiel Institute for the World Economy. They looked at $4 trillion in U.S. imports from early 2024 through late 2025. And their conclusion is very simple, and it's a brutal conclusion if you believe in this tariff program. The tariffs are working like a consumption tax on Americans. It's simply, this is what you used to pay. Well, add 96 cents for every dollar of tariffs, and that is what you pay now. And so when Trump brags about, we brought in hundreds of billions from tariffs, we didn't bring it in. We just took it from American companies and consumers. The money is coming almost entirely from us, not China, not Europe, not Brazil, or whoever else Donald Trump is trying to punish. Now, it's sort of like, wow, mind blowing. This is Econ 101 sort of stuff. The tariff is charged to the American importer at the cost. The cost is then passed down the chain. The importer might eat a little bit of it. The retailer might eat a little bit of it. And what doesn't get eaten shows up as higher prices, which we then have to pay. All of it reduces disposable spending money for Americans. You might say, well, if the retailer takes the hit, all the people that work for the retailer now are going to have downward pressure on their wages, or the retailer may lay people off, or the retailer may cut hours. And then the people working at the retailer will have less money to spend in their local community. So it is trickle down in a sense, but it's a very different trickle down than the one that Republicans want to talk to us about. Now, Trump defenders immediately jump on one talking point, which is, well, you know what? Inflation hasn't exploded, so it can't be that bad. And of course, it is true that we are not seeing 5-6% inflation. That's true. But remember what Trump promised. The tariffs would reduce prices. And what has happened instead is that prices have continued to increase by about 3% over the first year that Donald Trump is in office. Trump promised prices down, line go down. Trump said prices will go down. Prices have gone up. And importantly, there's a Harvard Business School piece of research which says that only 20% of tariff costs have shown up in consumer prices during the first 6 months of Trump. It does take time, especially with products with a longer manufacturing life cycle, for the higher prices to be reflected in retail prices. So there is still time here. It just means the prices are lagging a little bit. The key part Trump never mentions is that the promise was the tariffs will not only lower prices for Americans. That one hasn't happened. Hold on, I have my new Trump grunting here. Wait, no. I have a better Trump grunt. Where did that one go? Oh, no, I don't have it. Oh, This is terrible. Oh, here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Prices down. Okay. Not only have the prices not come down, Trump said that what a show today. Trump said the tariffs were going to raise the level of manufacturing employment in the United States. Manufacturing employment, ready for this one, has continued to go down. I know, it's terrible. So what did the tariffs really do? They made things more expensive for importers. They made things more expensive for manufacturers. They made things more expensive for American consumers. And they generated revenue almost entirely off of the backs of Americans. The final reason, this is now the political, the final reason this matters politically is because Trump just overnight is threatening even more tariffs. He's threatening 200% tariffs on France now, I guess. He is threatening to do even more of this. So if Trump does more, it's only going to get more expensive. Trump tariffs are a regressive tax. Lower and middle income families feel them more because lower and middle income families are spending a higher percentage of their income on goods. So it is very much not America first. And the most telling line in this entire research piece comes from one of the authors of the study who said, quote, "There is no such thing as foreigners transferring wealth to the U.S. in the form of tariffs. It doesn't exist. There is no mechanism through which that can happen. Trump didn't make other countries pay. He made you pay. We have the data, and that is where we are right now." Thanks for watching. Check out another one of our videos and make sure to subscribe so YouTube keeps our content in your feed. And if you prefer audio, subscribe to the podcast on Spotify or Apple.